Ever heard of a killer? I drop bombs like Hiroshima.
Somebody said, look at Leak You video. What the fuck is Leak You? Is it like a site? What's Leak You? Leak You. Is it a YouTube channel? Oh, shit. Oh, all right, bet. Here we go.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
One, two, three, four.
Hey folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you guys have been having a good week. I hope your Easter was nice. I hope you guys hung out with family and all that kind of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Coming through. Because, I wanted to talk about some of, give me a sec here. My cord has been kind of giving me problems there. There we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Guys, coming through to talk about this whole Pooh Shiesty, Gucci Mane, robbery, situation. Specifically, I want to talk about Ceddy Nash and him facing a possible subpoena. And did you all see King AK47 and Ceddy Nash over at Nique Nite's platform? Was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or the day before. That was interesting. Nique Nite was not happy with the way that King AK47 referred to her as a, female dog. And, I have to agree with her, man. You guys, you men, not every woman is a bitch. Okay, not every woman is a bitch or a HOE. I don't think he called her a hoe, but he definitely called her a bitch. And he called it a term of endearment. Well, not every woman feels that way, And I think that they had a conversation after the fact or whatever, because she was on her live stream with Ceddy Nash. And there's a lot of back and forth about who broke the story about Gucci Mane being robbed first, right? When I look at it, I sort of see Ceddy Nash and King AK47 maybe in contact with the same individuals. There's only so many bloggers, out here. There's only so many that have, large numbers or whatever. So there's only going to be so many bloggers people are going to contact, right, when something goes down. And it seems pretty obvious to me that whatever went down between Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane, somebody that was involved in the situation was talking to bloggers. That seems evident. That seems very evident to me. Okay. Now, before I get into talking about this subpoena that I think Ceddy Nash is potentially facing, let me give you a little update on the Pooh Shiesty case. So the final arrest, remember when the FBI came out and did a press conference and said they had arrested 8 of the 9 people that was on the indictment, and that there was one that was still, missing, and they were still looking for Terrence Rogers, essentially. Well, they found him. They found Terrence Rogers in Atlanta. The FBI did capture him. So that completes the arrest of all 9 suspects that have been linked to what investigators are calling a violent Dallas studio robbery, a business meeting that turned into a armed takeover. Authorities, are saying that rapper Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 allegedly orchestrated this armed kidnapping because they wanted to force a release from Gucci Mane's 1017 label. Now, all of these defendants are facing federal kidnapping charges. All of these defendants are facing a potential maximum penalty of life in prison. The range for their charges goes anywhere from 0 to life. And I think there's 1 or 2 individuals that don't have criminal records that may touch down on the streets years from now, but we'll see. It's all up to the judge. It's all up to the jury. It's all up to who's going to cut deals. Out of 9 individuals, somebody's going to talk. Yeah, you heard me. Out of 9 individuals, somebody's going to talk. That's why you don't do crimes with a bunch of people, because not everybody can hold. Not everybody's gonna not snitch, so to speak, right? But again, as you all heard, federal authorities did charge Pooh Shiesty, okay, and his 8 co-defendants, his 8 codees, right, with several charges related to the robbery of Gucci Mane. Many of you all are saying that Gucci Mane's out here snitching. Some of y'all really feel strongly about that. I kind of expressed my opinion on that in my last video on this, right? But prosecutors have alleged that once Gucci Mane, he had also a retired police officer with him and his cameraman. And once they were inside that studio, that Pooh Shiesty himself, after asking Gucci Mane to sign some contract release paperwork, when Gucci said no, Gucci asked one of his co-defendants to go get a bag, and he then produced an AK47. Had the barrel to Gucci's head, held him at gunpoint, forced him to sign the release, then robbed him of his jewelry, watches, wedding rings, made him screw the diamonds out of his ears. My God. It's also alleged that Big 30 barricaded the studio, and Big 30 is the one who doesn't actually have a criminal record. He doesn't have a criminal record. Could Big 30, if he is convicted of this, see the streets again? Again, that's up to the judge and the jury, right? A federal time is a lot harder to do than in some states. It's day for day. And, they didn't even used to have federal probation. There's some people that are on lifetime parole, lifetime probation. I mean, lifetime, right? It's crazy. But Pooh Shiesty's lawyer has also came out and spoke on this, right? His defense attorney, John Helms, has said that this case is more complicated than it looks. There's rumors that Gucci Mane owed Pooh Shiesty $25 million. Don't know how true that is. Obviously, we don't have any business paperwork to verify that. But that's some of the rumors that is rolling around. And you've got some of, Pooh Shiesty's mom going live and some people attributing comments to her. And they're saying, hey, this is why Pooh Shiesty did what he did. That's almost like convicting your son. She shouldn't be talking at all. Her lips should be absolutely sealed. She shouldn't be saying anything like that, because what does that lead to? Something called motive. Yeah. You're giving the motive to the feds, right? Mr. Helms, John Helms, Pooh Shiesty's attorney, said, quote, the government tries to characterize this as a dispute over money between Lontrell and his record label. But in this business, things are very often not what they seem. And people's motivations are very often not what they seem. Okay. But we know that there's some history there, right? We know there's some history there. With the death of Big Scar. And what that was, think about it. On his song FTO, he said there was a whole war going on and he was in a cage and it drove him crazy. He shouted out Yo Gotti. But Gucci Mane, he was very quiet about Gucci Mane. Now, John Helms did give this comment to the Dallas Morning News because, as you all know, this incident happened in Dallas. It happened right off the tollway in Dallas, in Frisco. And just FYI, the license plate readers that the feds had in the criminal complaint guarantee you 99% positive about this. The license readers they're talking about is the license readers on the toll. Once you get on the tollway, there's cameras from the moment you get on it to the time that you get off. Your car is probably photoed 50 million times. You know what I mean? When you jump on the tollway, right? Because those toll authorities, they want their money. They want their money. They're like a mob. The toll authority, the Dallas Toll Authority, or I should call them NTTA, the North Texas Authority, toll authorities, they are like mob bosses. They will stop you from registering your car in the state of Texas if you owe them too much money. And I mean, the interest that they pile on, it is absolutely ridiculous. But that's a video for another day. I absolutely hate, the NTTA, but whatever. But John Helms, like I said, he spoke to the Dallas Morning News, and he did signal his defense strategy that's going to be built around what he's called the volatile nature of the music business and the contractual dynamics between Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane's 1017 records. He said, quote, we will be presenting Lontrell's side of the case as the case goes on. And I think it's going to be significantly different from what the government says, end quote. Something else that was really interesting in the presser that the DOJ did was when they said this week, almost as if the robbery had happened that week. But I think what he meant to say was this week, these individuals have been, indicted and arrested. So I'll leave that at that. But they're saying that, again, that Pooh Shiesty, who's only 26, acted as this ringleader and got some Memphis hitters to come down and help him handle up on this, what was supposed to be a routine business meeting. Now, let's talk about video. let's talk about video. Now, according to the feds, they're saying that there is no video. Now, there's surveillance footage from buildings that surrounded the studio. They've got, I know they've got video footage from the license plate readers. They take pictures of the cars as they travel through the tollway. And they've got video footage from the motels that these individuals stayed at, which from my understanding was a Comfort Inn. I said to myself, damn, they're in a Comfort Inn? Damn. You put them on a Greyhound bus to send them back to Memphis? That was kind of cheap, but okay. But video. The feds have admitted they don't have any video from the actual incident. So how is it that Ceddy Nash, how has he seen a video with his own eyes? Ceddy Nash has been very, he has stressed this. And I think WAC 100 warned him maybe a month or two ago that this was very delicate, and maybe he was, pull back a little bit because you could potentially get subpoenaed by the feds. He was telling the truth, because here's the problem that Ceddy's going to have. Okay. If you want to take the, and listen, I don't know who's the first to break it. I think Ceddy was the first to come out and break it. But again, King Ack may have some communication channels and had received the information too. He says he was the first to break the story. So I don't know. I think the two of them have been kind of going back and forth about it. But here's the problem that I'm seeing here. Ceddy says he has absolutely seen the video. And here's the other problem. Some of the not everything that Ceddy said was accurate, but a lot of it, majority of it was, right? I see one problem. When he first came out, he said Pooh Shiesty was not there. He then came back and later said he didn't want to put Pooh Shiesty there. But that lends a problem for your character, right? But the video that you say that you seen, you described this, and when you was describing this video that you watched, that seemed to really line up with what the federal authorities put in the criminal complaint. Now, do you think the federal authorities are going to let it slide that, that you got to see a video and they didn't? When they're saying there's not a video of the incident and you're saying that there is? Here, listen, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Just listen. Again, this, Ceddy's clip has went viral, right? And I've been pleading with Ceddy to drop the video. If you've got the video, drop the video. Even in when he came up and did his video about the arrests, he kind of alluded to, oh, well, I thought that I deleted it, but I didn't. So you just said on YouTube stream that you've still got this data on a device. If the federal authorities are watching, if you don't think that you're not going to get a subpoena, you may want to rethink that. You may want to talk to an attorney, Ceddy. Okay? I'm just saying. Now, let's just really quick listen to this, right? This is when Ceddy, this is the clip that everybody's talking about.
This is all on camera. I thought I got rid of this shit. I apparently didn't. So
That's going to be a problem, Ceddy. That's going to be a problem. Just that little sentence that you just stated right there. You thought you got rid of it, but you didn't. You're alluding that you have something the feds don't. And if you think they're not going to want it, you're wrong. Okay? So let's be very clear about that.
Gucci goes in the studio. This is all on camera. I thought I got rid of this shit. I apparently didn't. So there's that.
Hey, Third Eye.
I tried. I fucking tried, bro. I tried. Did my damnedest. All you bloggers, y'all bloggers. Y'all not, I'm really in these streets, bro. The video is going to reveal this nigga Big 30. Mind you, the feds already have all this shit. They had it for over a month now. Pooh Shiesty over here antagonizing shit. I'll tell you about that later. So, Gucci walk in the damn studio, bro, with his people to Draco's. The fucking footage is going to show Pooh Shiesty had one on him. Big 30 had one on him. Only person who really gonna escape from this is the Pops. The Pops did not want none of this to go on. Nigga like this, bro. Gucci look at the dad like, the Pops just head down. You can't tell your son nothing right now. Your son the number one right now. You gonna sign this? Sign the damn papers. And we need that. Wedding ring. Watch. Come up out that. The person who closed the door is Big 30. He got his Draco. That's why they put the warrant out for him. This is all on camera, so nothing I'm telling y'all ain't shit that the feds don't know. A lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, bro, this fan work. It really ain't. I tried to say to the nigga by saying he wasn't there. Saying he left and then these cats did whatever they did. I tried to get the jewelry. By the time I get to Dallas, these niggas done already left. It's a whole rumor out there. It's gonna come out later. It is what it is. I'm not gonna confirm or deny anything, but I will tell y'all this. I was about this close. But the people who had the jewelry, shit, they on paranoia mode. And I get it. So I ain't even mad at that one. Now, there's certain details I'm not going to put out because obviously it is what it is. I'll plead the fifth all day. I don't give a shit. They don't know nothing anyways. I know who knows what, and I know more than what the hell I'm letting on. But it is what it is. So they do that shit. They leave. Gucci Mane pissed, confused, hurt. Gucci say nothing. The cameraman and the little homie are running through everywhere, doing this. They telling people, give me 5,000, I'll break the whole story to you. Give me 3,000, I'll break the whole story to you. Hey, I got the footage, bro. Y'all can break the story. Y'all can have nobody, and I'm proud of the industry for this and all. I'll give a damn. It's literally some people who ain't street at all that could have had that footage and said, hell no, we ain't touching that. So behind the scenes, they've been trying to give this damn footage up.
Okay. Now,
Gucci goes in the studio. This is all on camera.
listen, I don't doubt what Ceddy's saying, that he's potentially maybe seen a video. Potentially maybe he has seen a video that has not been leaked or dropped anywhere, right? But again, the problem here is federal authorities, the Department of Justice, isn't, they're going to be like, how is it that a blogger on YouTube can get his hands on a video, and he said he thought he deleted it? Are you alluding that you actually have a copy, right, of this video? Or were you on FaceTime and somebody showed you a copy of the video, right? This is going to be a problem for the feds. And why is this going to be such a problem? I'll tell you why. Because Ceddy is getting attributed as the person that broke this story. And and if you think that a YouTuber can't be subpoenaed in a federal case, I am here to tell you, you absolutely can be. How do I know? Because it's happened to me. It has actually happened to me. What was it? I want to say maybe it's been 12, 13 years ago. I did a YouTube video and I got a subpoena from the Department of Justice and the FBI regarding a man named Bill White, a very racist man named Bill White out of Virginia. Feel free to research this if you want. They forced me. What do they call that? A grand jury, when they put like a grand jury together. And they're trying to determine, the grand juries, whether they're going to indict or not on a charge. They forced me to fly all the way out to Virginia to testify in front of this grand jury. Now, I didn't end up going, having to testify in the rest of the man's trial or anything like that, but I absolutely got subpoenaed. I know that you can absolutely be subpoenaed from a YouTube video. And what's so cold about it, the video that I had done, it had been done like 6 months at least prior to the FBI. I mean, it took the FBI like 6 months to figure out who I was, where I lived, where I stayed. And before I know it, it's a knock, knock, knock on the door. Yes. Hi, ma'am. This is the FBI. Now, I'm just a blogger. I'm just exposing this racist to the world about what he said. This man, Bill White, used to rent Section 8 apartments and then intentionally give the tenants issues and violate their tenant rights. Like this dude threatened to kill judges. This guy escaped and went on the run for like 2 years, all the way in Mexico. I mean, this guy, Bill White, was a nightmare, a racist nightmare. Okay. And I called him up one day on the phone to ask him, why, just basically to ask him, record the conversation and expose the conversation. Okay. Because the dude is fucking disgusting. He really hated black people. He was a fucking clown. And so again, I didn't think in a million years that me doing a YouTube video about this racist clown and exposing him would get me a subpoena by the Department of Justice. That shit went on for 2 years in my life. I had, even after all of that was done, right? The FBI was mailing me stuff constantly after that, let me know, he's projected to be released on this date, that date, because your safety becomes an issue, especially dealing in the situation I was in, dealing with a racist, dude who had, this guy had people supporting him. God only knows, that shit went on for a couple of years. Right. Again, this was like maybe 13, 14, 15 years ago. The FBI was literally going through YouTube and they found my video. That's exactly how that went down. So again, if you think that a subpoena can't come from a YouTube video, I'm here to tell you, I'm a living witness. It can absolutely happen. All right. Now, again, the authorities are saying that there is no video in the studio, but there's also talk that as Gucci was signing the paperwork, that there was an individual in that recording room while that document was being signed that was recording him signing the paperwork. Whether that was to use it as leverage in the future or as blackmail in the future, I don't know. But I'm wondering if that's the video that Ceddy has seen, that Ceddy's talking about. And if that's the case, if you think the feds aren't going to want that, oh, they're going to want that. Because, see, listen, if the case is as, we get the original charges, right? And we hear the press conference, right? And then you've got these probable cause hearings happening. And then you've got the news sitting out asking the federal authorities, do you have video? Like, how strong is this case? Listen, if this case has any weakness in it, if some of you guys are making videos coming out saying, oh, well, this case isn't as strong as the feds tried to make it out to be. Well, if that's the case, they're going to want to get their hands on this video that Ceddy's referring to make their case stronger. They're going to look at that as a key piece of information. There could be a situation here where Ceddy gets subpoenaed and forced to testify in a grand jury, forced to talk to the FBI. Now, can they force you? Yes, they can. They could absolutely force one to talk to them. They will put you in jail until you talk. Absolutely. They will force you. So if this case is got this, a weakness in that respect, and they're hearing that there's this video, and there's nothing Ceddy can do about this clip. It's everywhere. He can't take it back. It wouldn't even matter if he privated the video on his channel today. It wouldn't even matter because that video's out there, right? And it's there's no question that the federales, as I call them, has been watching his channel. There's no question in my mind. So all I'm saying is, he say he's a blogger. He's not, it's not about he's in this, whatever. He's not, or I don't know. We're bloggers and he's really doing that street shit, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. What would Ceddy do if the FBI comes and knocks on his door tomorrow, wanting to inquire and ask him about this video? Now, there's other people that have, that I've seen, like, videos and shorts on YouTube that have also brought this up with this video. Where's it at, right? Like, release the video. If you got it, drop it. Drop it anonymously, whatever the case may be. And that sort of makes me think that maybe Ceddy does not have the video, right? What loyalty does he owe to any of these people? Honestly, shit. But again, I'm curious why he originally said Pooh Shiesty wasn't there, though, because Pooh Shiesty, per the FBI's criminal complaint, absolutely picked up that AK, from the bag, had the barrel on the back of Gucci's head, forced him to sign it, asked Pops, is this good enough? Pops said it needs to be dated. The way he described the robbery happening, was nuts. Nuts. And again, I don't think even taking the video down would help.
So now that you're all caught up, here's what happened. Can't tell you the day, but Gucci Mane, that wedding ring, gone. Yeah, they hit him with the Suge Knight, bruh. They took Gucci Mane wedding ring and they took his watch. So Gucci, this is 100% true. Hit me up, I can get you it back. But as it stands right now, bruh, Gucci Mane walking around wedding ringless right now, and he ain't got no watch. I'm not gonna say who robbed him. Pooh Shiesty was not there, but it definitely went on after Pooh Shiesty left.
See, that statement is a problem for your character, because either you lied when you said that, or you didn't see a video, right? Like, this shit is crazy, right? Now, I'm not trying to pick apart, everything that Ceddy has said or anything like that. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy about it. I'm just being honest, right? That's an issue. I mean, I'm curious why, but he has spoke out and said he didn't want to place Pooh Shiesty there at the time for whatever reason. I don't know the reason. But man, let me tell you something I can't stand as a vlogger. When somebody acts like it's so annoying. Oh, I got it all. I got all the information, blah, blah, blah. And then you tell us something that's not true. Because Pooh Shiesty was there, according to authorities. And if you had seen a video that you've mentioned multiple times, right? Pooh Shiesty was there. So I don't know. That's just a weird comment right there.
Shiesty and Gucci Mane got into an altercation as far as a little back and forth.
But pay attention to everything else he's saying. It seems to line up with the criminal complaint.
Shiesty wasn't hearing shit that Gucci Mane had to say. Gucci Mane won't put Shiesty on the team, but hell nah. So what ends up happening is Space in the Place. Can't give you too much specific details, because if I do, then y'all know that's all bad. But
no, I hate that. If you're vlogging, vlog it, damn it. We want all the details. Don't hold back.
As soon as Pooh Shiesty got up out of there, left, got in his car, pulled off, he ain't knowing what the hell going on. All he knows is he happy that Gucci Mane signed him up out that goddamn deal. But after that, after Pooh Shiesty was in the clear, because he don't know shit about this, so he gonna be reading about and hearing about this as I am. I mean, as I'm letting y'all know this shit right now.
That ain't true. That's not true. Pooh Shiesty was there. So that's not a true statement.
They robbed his ass. For surely robbed goddamn Gucci Mane. Robbed his ass out of his ring, robbed his ass out of his watch. So he running around here right now. It didn't happen in Atlanta. That's as far as I can give y'all right there. There's more details on the way, and it will be dropping. But as far as much as I want to give to the internet, yeah, that boy Gucci Mane had to release Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty is no longer signed in 1017. And Gucci Mane no longer has his wedding ring, and no longer.
But we know you cannot force, someone to sign a release from a contract out of duress, right? So, yeah, he's definitely still on 1017. And Gucci Mane is going to take every dollar and every cent moving forward. And Pooh Shiesty will be lucky if he ever makes another dime from any of his music moving forward. Straight up. You cannot force someone to sign a contract under duress.
longer has his watch. But Gucci, you can holler at me. I can get it back for you, bruh. Other than that, man, it is what it is. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Believe me, don't believe me, but y'all know when I break down street shit like this, I'm never wrong. I got a flawless victory on this shit. So it is what it is. But if you want more breaking street news like this, man,
Anyway, so again, that's some questionable, those are some of the things that, you know, and listen, this ain't no attack on Ceddy. This is just how vlogging goes, right? Especially, you want, if anybody who wants to be the first to break something or whatever, maybe, sometimes when you first break a story, you don't actually have everything, all of the, information at the time. You have a lot of it, maybe 90% of it, and 10% of it you don't have, or 10% you may get it wrong. So, again, this is no attack on him. This is just, hey, okay, you broke the story. Now we're picking it apart. Okay, that's it. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. I will be back here momentarily because I'm going to be going over the actual criminal complaint. And I typically do this. I'll go over it, and this ain't the first criminal complaint I'll be reviewing. I've reviewed criminal complaints on many cases, in my lifetime doing this vlogging thing. But I want to go through the criminal complaint in detail and review that with my audience, so that we can, take a look at some of the details that the FBI, the Department of Justice, is stating regarding this case. So a lot of you all are calling Gucci a snitch. For those of you that catch the replay, let me know in the comments if you think Gucci Mane is a snitch. I mean, does it make a difference if Gucci Mane is the victim, versus having, committed a crime with Pooh and then talking? Like, what constitutes a snitch? One thing you guys have to understand is that Gucci Mane is 47, 48 years old now. The man has had children. He has a wife now. He has a whole family. Now, is it possible that Keisha, his wife, is the one that's sort of behind a lot of this? She seems very, I won't say controlling, but she seems very much so in the mix, right? So, but the one thing you guys got to remember is that there was a retired police officer with Gucci Mane. That man got robbed. He ain't used to that. There's absolutely no way a retired police officer who gets robbed of his goods, who was hired to be security, is not going to say something to the popo. There's just no way. Then you got the cameraman that was also there that was robbed. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be that Gucci Mane is talking, right? Now, does the criminal complaint seem to allude to Gucci Mane identifying Pooh Shiesty and his team? Yeah, it does. But guys, Gucci Mane, again, he's a family man now. Is this kind of a bad look for Gucci's reputation? Yeah, it is. But man, listen, if I was Gucci, I wouldn't give a damn about that. I really wouldn't give a damn about that. Man, this man left the comforts of his home, his family, to get on a flight that he probably paid a lot of money for, for a private jet. He's got a retired police officer, a cameraman with him, and I think another individual that stayed out in the car, whatever. But He's got to pay these people for their time, right? So he's all this money he's out. He comes to Dallas for what he thinks is a business meeting. And then you rob me of my personal effects. Not to mention you done made me, you're trying to make, you forced me essentially to sign a contract release. And then you want to rob me? And the coldest part is you want to stand there and force me to unscrew my earrings out of my ear? Damn. This isn't the same Gucci from 20 years ago. We don't know what Gucci is on, what is on the top of Gucci's mind. The truth is, situations can happen to people, like getting robbed and think that you're about to die. It could make you do things that you never thought you'd do. And think, if Gucci Mane would have been killed that day, his kids wouldn't have a father. His wife would be a widow. Yeah, put all that in perspective. Put all of that in perspective, y'all. What a mess. What a mess. Anyway, guys, I'll be back later, here momentarily. I want to go over the criminal complaint in more detail, and just kind of read through that with you guys. So I'll see you all on the next live stream. Make sure that you subscribe and check your notifications, guys. Until next time. Shout out to the Leak community. Please join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
The judgment sentence that you are an asshole. The trial is over. Thank you, everybody.
Let's play a game. You have 10 seconds to take all your stuff and get out of my life. 10, 9, 8.
God bless you, motherfucker.
You're really smart. Like really, really, really smart like I am.